Some severe weather. New warning just came out a few minutes ago, and we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for extreme southeastern portions of Champaign County and also into Vermilion County. So let's take a look at this. This thing had really kind of had grown in its strength just in the last kind of half an hour or so. And so we're talking about over there near the Broadlands area, Homer, as you go north there on Highway 49. This is moving to the northeast, so we're talking about, Fairmount, eventually maybe Oakwood there, that area where this storm could have the potential to produce some damaging winds. But I will tell you this, there's something a little interesting in here. This is not just a regular run-of-the-mill severe thunderstorm warning. This is one that they also have what is known as the tornado possible tag. It means that hey, there could also be the potential for a tornado in there. And we're seeing at least some slight rotation. Now, this is going to be just south of Homer. That is going to be right there on 49 between Allerton and Homer, where we're seeing some. I'll just kind of back it up just a little bit more. And when this storm was kind of down here, east of Villa Grove, notice kind of some of those reds and greens that were a little close to one another, and then moved off there to the northeast. And so some slight rotation on that storm. Right now, not tornado warned, but severe thunderstorm warning with what is known as the tornado possible tag. The thing is we're starting to get pretty deep and far away from the radar. As a matter of fact, the radar beam is going to be hitting at about 6,000 feet. So we're looking at about over a mile up at that point. So yes, you don't always get to see exactly what's going on at the ground level. So we're seeing some of that rotation aloft. And so this is moving to the northeast, kind of give you an idea of the direction it's going. We'll put a little bit of a loop on it and notice there it is. And so this is going to be a southwestern Vermilion County storm, it looks like. If you are in Danville, you are under this severe thunderstorm warning. I'll be paying attention here over the next half hour or so. The latest movement on this is to the north and east. Severe thunderstorm warning. Here's the thing. These things are hauling 55 miles an hour to the north and east. And we're going to be watching things. So what I'm going to do here is pull up our camera that is located in Danville and kind of show you guys what that's looking like here for us this afternoon, because that's going to be next, that line coming in there from the south and west. And so we're watching that carefully. So severe thunderstorm warning, if you're in Homer right now, Fithian, Oakwood, Catlin, Tilton, Danville, Fairmount, you guys are all under that severe thunderstorm warning at this time. So definitely be keeping a close eye on things here as we go throughout tonight. Quickly here, just so I can touch on kind of what is still to come. Okay. We've got a slight risk from the Storm Prediction Center. That enhanced risk is still out there to the north and west where we're seeing more activity. But here's what we've got. We've got this round one that's happening here. So basically the I-57 corridor, we think, is going to be kind of that main area where these storms could fire off. But notice some of those other storms back to the west that try to get going after, say, 7 o'clock tonight. There could be another little round there. We've got to keep a close eye on those little storms. So we're watching things carefully. Again, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect basically for the extreme eastern, southeastern corner of Champaign County, and then a good chunk there of Vermilion County as that storm lifts off to the north and east. We've got Jacob in here with us. We've got meteorologist Seth Bonoff. That's out in the storm tracker. He's going to be keeping an eye on things, so we're going to continue to keep you up to date on how this plays out. But if you're out there right now, watch out for that storm. Again, it kind of went from nothing to something pretty quick, and that is kind of the nature of these. We're just going, watch it, some subtleties there. And we'll keep an eye on that one for you, and we'll let you know if anything else develops.
Good to know. Kevin, thank you so much. Now, check this out. Imagine you win $167 million, but now imagine less than a year later, you're in court being accused of a $12,000 burglary.
Oh, boy. For one Kentucky man, prosecutors say a historic jackpot win just wasn't enough. Maggie Rickerby has the story.
James Farthing and his attorney didn't have much to say at his arraignment Monday.
Okay, folks, here with you, keeping an eye on this severe thunderstorm warning. Those of you that are here with.
Coming up after this, we'll take a look at today's top stories. The latest on alcohol restrictions in Champaign as the Illini get ready for the Final Four. We share what has changed from last week's restrictions next.
All right, those of you that are here with us here, I thought you were going straight to break. It's all good. All right, so we're still broadcasting here with you guys. I know there's plenty of you here on the chat. We're in the middle of our newscast right now, but we're going to try to kind of do a little bit of both. So hopefully you guys are here with us. And again, the only area of concern right now basically is over here into southern Vermilion County. Severe thunderstorm warning on our guy right here. We're watching this coming in to the north and east, and you can see that storm there. Yeah, it did have a little bit of rotation on it earlier. There's, we're looking at that, maybe some stronger winds too. So that's going to be coming, between Homer and Fairmount, that area there. See those little brighter little pixels there. So between County Road 900 and 1100, Catlin Homer Road area. That's where the strongest stuff is here right now as it moves off.
Right over the Fairmount Quarry.
Yep. So coming over towards the Oakwood here, eventually it's going to cross 74. So we'll see what it's doing. Again, we're just, you get in this area here, sometimes it's a little harder to see things and from kind of the ground level, but that's what we've got here, guys. So again, we're in the middle of we're getting ready to wrap up our 4 o'clock newscast here, going to our 5 o'clock. We're going to kind of bounce back and forth here on our coverage for you. But just to kind of show you this wider view, I mean, essentially we've got this area here that we're going to watch, a huge, huge area of nothing going on back here, right? And then you come over here, and this is where the real severe weather is happening in far northwest Illinois. What we're going to watch out for is any redevelopment. See that little guy over there? Okay, could there be more development of storms in this area over the next few hours?
Here's a look at your first News at 4 top story. The city of Champaign is once again enacting temporary alcohol restrictions on campus ahead of this weekend's basketball game. Like last time, campus bars can serve alcohol during their normal hours, but cannot use glass containers. Retailers like liquor stores will have to stop selling it from 6:30 to 9:30 on game day. Last weekend, stores had to stop selling it at 6 for the rest of the night. All right, Kevin, hopefully people can dodge some rain showers tonight and tomorrow as they prepare for the games.
Yeah, we've got a little window here. We're going to be dealing with severe weather possibly. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning again for the folks over in Vermilion County. If you're watching south of 50th over towards Fairmount, Oakwood area, you've got that severe thunderstorm warning for you. We're watching maybe even some areas of some slight rotation right now. Just a severe thunderstorm warning, but be on the lookout there over the next half hour in Vermilion County.
Stay weather aware. Kevin, thank you so much. Brandon and Jennifer, what's next at 5?
All right, is your Illini gear ready for the weekend? Alma certainly is. We introduce you to the woman behind the larger-than-life jersey.
Plus, we're going to take you back out to Indianapolis, where the Illini are hoping they can punch their ticket to their first national championship in more than 20 years. We are all things Illini and Indy. Those stories and more next at 5.
All right, took in, guys, hanging here with you, doing a little dual coverage back and forth as we go from newscast to severe weather, and just watching this storm here that's coming into Vermilion County. There's your view. Anybody out there? Looks like some people are saying storm that just went through Homer. If you've got any reports of anything, let us know. In Jamaica, just getting there. Yep. So that storm just starting to roll in. You're seeing, again, kind of this southern portion there in Allerton, seeing another little push of some heavier rain. Let's see what kind of lightning we've got on this thing. I haven't checked that. Not a ton of lightning. There's a few strikes in there. A little bit more up here on this northern edge where we think some of the stronger winds could be when we switch over to our velocity. And now we're getting into kind of that edge of the radar where we basically kind of lose some of the more detailed data. So this is where reports from you guys really helps us out over in Vermilion County. So Oakwood, I would be on the lookout in the next few minutes. This thing coming right over you. Let's see what we've got here on our camera again. And again, we're getting ready to go back to the newscast here at 5 o'clock. So again, we'll just be kind of hopping back and forth with you on the live stream. So let us know if you're getting anything over there in Vermilion County, especially those of you over towards Danville the next half hour, and Oakwood as well. So we're popping in the newscast here, and we'll be back with you in just a second.
This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Route 66 Solar.
Well, folks, things are calm for a vast majority of us, but we've got one area that we're watching carefully, and that is portions of Vermilion County. Let's zoom in. We've got a little cell right here. That's basically over the top, getting ready to go right over the top of Oakwood here, and right along I-74 and 150. Winds may start to pick up a little bit, some lightning in there. This storm once had a little bit of slight rotation on it earlier. If you're up here into Danville, if you're over there basically east of Oakwood, you're watching that storm as it comes in. It is moving off to the northeast, and it's moving at a fast clip at around 55 miles an hour. For the rest of us, you may be saying, well, what about us? Well, so far, so good. But we're not out of the woods yet. Another round possible. We'll break it down coming up as WCIA 3 News starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
You are taking a live look over Mattoon right now as storms started dumping rain on parts of central Illinois. Good evening. I'm Brendan Morano in for Kelly.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. We're going to turn things back over to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty now. He's in our weather center. All right, Kevin, so how fast are these storms moving through the area?
Yeah, they're hauling pretty good so far. 55 miles an hour, that latest warning is. It's also storming pretty good down in the Mattoon area. Live view that we got there from Seth in the storm tracker there is. He has been out there, and he's down there in Mattoon kind of showing us what's going on. They've had some storms. Humboldt down there, they've had some storms as well. Charleston. So Seth is down there keeping an eye on things for us. But right now, the concern is more over the kind of Danville area, where we've got a little bit more activity going on over there, as you can see, and a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect. Now, this storm, I will say, as I look at it on radar from just, even 20 minutes ago, coming down a little bit in strength. But if we had to pick kind of one area of concern, it is still going to be southern portions and central portions there of Vermilion County, where that warning is still in effect. But again, you get out here far away from the radar and you sometimes lose some of the good definition. But I tell you, if you're in Oakwood right now, you know what I'm talking about. It is pouring down rain, and that storm there will continue to move off, maybe probably impact the north side of Danville a little bit more, and down the line maybe the Bismarck area. But as I mentioned, there are more storms. Now look at this activity out across northwest Illinois. That is not going to hit us. That's going to stay to our northwest. But what we're going to watch out for is the potential for any other storms to get going, say down here in this area, Jacksonville, Springfield. And if any of those get going, those could turn severe in the next 3 to 4 hours. So not out of the woods here yet, guys. Just kind of the beginning. But right now, Vermilion County is pretty much the only area of concern at this moment.
All right, Kevin, we'll be back with you in a couple minutes. Now we're going to look to Indianapolis, dry at this very moment. And the Illini's journey to the final.
WCIA 3 Sports Director Glenn Kinley and Courtney Lane Brewer join us live from the Circle City. Glenn, Courtney, this season, not always smooth sailing. So how did the Illini battle through those hard times along the way to get to the Final Four?
Your mic needs...
You're on. Somehow both were turned on. Are you adjusting also?
No, I didn't do that. All right, guys, are we still here? Okay, guys. So sorry about maybe some of the audio there. I heard you guys say there's some echoing. When we kind of bounce back and forth from doing the newscast and then what we usually just kind of do in the coverage here, we've got to switch a few different buttons and whatnot. So sorry. The echo is gone. Jacob said blame him. I don't know, but we're just going to tell him for now.
How fast will that storm make it to Indianapolis?
I mean, it's moving pretty fast, so it's moving more northeast, so that's going to go. Yeah. Yep. So we have our sports team in Indy. They're doing a live special at 6:30. These storms here may eventually head in that. Are we good?
Yeah, camera now.
Oh, okay. Oh, hello. Those storms may eventually, reach over to Indianapolis. They're going to be live. I think they're outside, and I think that's the problem for them. They may have to relocate. So we just had our assignment editor kind of come in here and tell us what's going on. Again, Vermilion County right now. Got some good message from you guys talking about the storm coming through was pretty ugly near Fithian. It's kind of scrolling back to some of your messages. Again, guys, we're in the middle of the 5 o'clock, but we're doing our live stream here with you too.
All right, thank you guys.
Great to see you out there. The symbol of the U of I got a new look today. Alma Mater is dressed in orange and blue.
But getting the jersey on her, no easy feat. WCIA 3 Skating More live at Alma Mater right now, and you were there this morning when they were putting this huge jersey on her. How did that go?
So again, guys, still a warning in effect.
Seth, if you can hear me, I think you should just start to mosey north to Tuscola. You can head east to get Arcola or Tuscola if something happens. But then eventually you're going to go west.
All right, guys, still watching our storm here. Let's kind of show you, and actually it's kind of strengthening a little bit again on the southern edge. So Jamaica, you're about to get hit again with another pretty good little storm. So that one may hit a little bit more towards Catlin and Westville. The warned part is still up here heading towards North Danville.
I love that the tradition continues, and let's keep it going every year after this. All right, Katie, thank you. Now to an update on a deadly 2025 crash in Decatur. The man police say hit 2 pedestrians while driving drunk has now pleaded guilty to some of the charges against him. This happened at the intersection of West Main Street and South Taylor Avenue in August. 38-year-old Candace Nicole Wilt died at the scene. 29-year-old Christopher Cox died several days later. 37-year-old Isaiah Flagg pleaded guilty to the reckless homicide and DUI without a valid license charge in a deal last month. Another DUI charge was dropped. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and in Macon County, advocates met encouraging the community to be part of the solution to help children.
It was hosted by the Coalition Against Child Abuse. Multiple advocacy centers like Child First Center, Dove Incorporated, Heartland CASA, the court-appointed special advocates, and others came together at the courthouse with blue ribbons and pinwheels, the national symbols of child abuse prevention. Organizers say teaching others how serious the problem is the most important.
Still with you here, guys. Just again in the middle of the newscast. We are keeping an eye on the storm coming towards Danville. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Danville. Down to Oakwood, Fairmount.
For the whole month of April, events like this are happening throughout schools and organizations in Macon County and throughout Central Illinois. If you'd like to participate or find out more information about the events, just head over to our website, WCIA.com. Now to work happening at the Capitol to make sure kids are safe. In a rare move, some Illinois Democrats are pushing for new criminal penalties for offenders who target children. Their new bill would hand down the harshest punishments available to those who torture children. Child abuse is a crime in all 50 states, but 14, including Illinois, don't have a law specifying child torture. That's defined as degrading or abusive treatment for extended periods of time. Supporters say without these laws, offenders can traumatize children in ways that don't leave physical scars and face no consequences. Child torture would become a Class X felony if the bill passes. That means offenders would face a mandatory prison sentence of 6 to 30 years if convicted.
All right, we're going to go back to one of our lead stories. The Final Four just 2 days away. You're going to hear from the Fighting Illini and how they're trying to block out all the noise ahead of their rematch.
Plus, with another day of rain in central Illinois, what's it mean for the drought? We're going to have an update coming up after the break.
All right, back here with you guys again. In the middle of the 5, still doing the streaming coverage here for you. Watching the storm that seems to just not want to quit over here in Vermilion County. We kind of had that first initial push to come through up here, but now things are even strengthening a little bit more south of that. So kind of getting hit for the second time in some areas down there near Jamaica and Oakwood. So looking pretty good with that storm. As I look at kind of some of the winds in there may be some occasional, gusts that could occur. We did have some rotation a little bit earlier, not seeing maybe as much of that as we did. But if you're there in Danville, again, we're watching it. The skies just look pretty dark. I'll click back over to the camera view there for a second. And you can see there, Jacob's kind of spinning it around, give us the views of that storm there. Really, is that a little shelf there? I can't. Yeah, something there, kind of.
There was a spotter report of some rotation on Henry Road north from Vermilion County EMA.
Yes. Yes, I will stay at pod for main weather.
Okay.
So yeah, Jacob's kind of spinning the camera around there a little bit to kind of.
Got a spotter report
Go
of
ahead and take that full. They've adjusted the camera for the. There we go. What do you say the spotter was saying?
spotter report of some rotation on Henning Road by 2300 North, but pretty much rain wrap that came from the Vermilion County EMA. So there might be something, but
Tough to see.
yeah, that'd be right on it.
Yeah, I mean there's some gusty winds in there. Just not your typical
There's
great viewing.
Also, a new discussion for the Storm Prediction Center of a 60% chance of a watch being issued for East Central Illinois.
Okay, guys, again, watching our storm here in Vermilion County with you. Thanks for hanging out here on the live stream.
First time since October, today's drought monitor shows central Illinois is clear from extreme drought conditions.
Take a look here. Doesn't mean we're out of the drought just yet. Most of the area is still under severe drought. But last month was the wettest March since 2004 in Champaign and the third rainiest March on record for Springfield. That's why one expert says the monitor continues getting better each week. She says groundwater levels are still low and hoping for some more slow and steady rainfall to wells and aquifers to help them recharge.
It's not often I get to point to a weather map and extreme
I know.
no longer.
Hold on a second. I looked over there. I was like,
Wait, am I
wait,
supposed to be doing that?
was there a weather
Are
map
we
there? Was
switching?
that my weather? Like, I was like confused for a
It
second.
was your weather
Yeah, well, there we go.
Thanks for the borrow.
No, absolutely. I'm here for you. This is what I'm here for. We are watching one area in Vermilion County that's storming pretty good. As a matter of fact, Danville, you're about to get hit by kind of a second wave. And there has been a little bit of rotation on that storm as well. So we're keeping a close eye on that. We'll have more coming up after the break. Yes, folks, you got to see the behind the scenes there.
Sorry.
I was going to be like, don't pick your nose.
All of a sudden I was doing this and I'm going, is everybody watching me do this?
Yeah, she
Fix my
can.
hair?
you
I
can
know.
see.
My mom says I need a haircut. I
Well-
know. Don't tell me.
Well, so again, whenever we have,
She does. My mom says she watches and she covers my face. Like she goes and she looks and covers my hair And she said, you would look so
What do you think?
good if you cut it.
Does
to
Jennifer
this."
need a haircut?
Do I need
let,
a haircut?
Let us
Where's
know in
the
the
camera.
let us
I'm
know in the
looking, where am I looking? Oh, that camera.
That-
Oh, is my mother right? She
Okay.
wants me to get
Okay.
it cut to this.
chat.
her no, it keeps
you
me
can
young.
you can watch the chat and they'll let you know here.
I don't think anyone cares. I think they're really worried
Well,
about their weather.
That
I'm sorry.
could be it could
Oh.
be possible.
Kyle, is that to me beautiful?
No,
I'm gonna stay.
that little sliver. Yeah.
I want to see what people are saying about me.
You're good.
How
Hey,
many
Seth,
people are
do you want to
watching?
talk? Are you good to talk? All right, cool. You're still in Mattoon, right?
Have you checked in with?
Okay, cool.
Shirley says
So
no,
did you check it
Jennifer.
out?
Shirley, no to what? No, don't cut it. I'm gonna take it over.
You're good. You're fine. You're good.
Oh, Nicole says yes. Cut it. Okay. This is no longer weather stream.
Audio on TV
Brett.
And we're gonna
says keep it.
let him know that we're gonna go. I will toss to
Debbie,
him.
no. Debbie, I'm getting a cut on Gary. I'm sorry. I know you could care less. I'm sorry. This is what
yeah.
happens.
This careful in the chat.
Gary.
Well, yeah. Well,
Oh. I
there's-
am getting a cut Tuesday though, but I won't go too much. Maybe a couple. Get some face friendly layers, and okay, I'm out. Gary's gonna get mad at me.
thanks, Jennifer, for the appearance there. Listen. So what you get behind the scenes here, folks. We're about a minute 15 away from our weather hit that we'll do. And we're going to check in with Seth, who is down in Mattoon. We're going to track this latest storm that is in Vermilion County. And yeah, Danville. I think it's about to come over to Danville too. Can you see a little bit more? We're going to let's check the camera out here. Shaking around a little bit. Or... Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's tough because everything's just so gray. But yeah, you can kind of see. Wait, is that a little something right there? What is that? See a little lightning there. Dave said, "Dang, the show was exciting for a minute." Well,
Oh, but now you have to be. Tony likes it.
okay, we're 15 seconds out from back to our coverage here. All right. Stand by, folks. Here we
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
Wide picture, wide view of things. We've really only got kind of this I-57 corridor eastward where we've got some showers and thunderstorms. Anything west of that, including Champaign, Monticello, Decatur, Springfield, Taylorville, it's all calm. And we've got a little area out here to the west we're going to be watching. But the area of highest concern is over here in Vermilion County. Or folks over here that are watching us in Danville, bring a little storm on top of you. And that thing is kind of the second wave. You just had the first one that's over there near Bismarck now. But boy, it's coming over the Catlin, Tilton area pretty good here right now and in Danville. Let's click over to our weather camera now in Danville because we've got a perfect view of this thing. And you're going to see it. There it is. And so we're kind of seeing that leading edge of that. And there has been some slight rotation on our storm that is over in the Danville area. You can see it's starting to really come down. That's our camera located there in downtown Danville. And boy, that thing is rolling right over the top of you guys right now, seeing some lightning strikes. Might have some, you can see our camera shaking a little bit there in the wind. Okay, bouncing around. That thing's secured pretty good. It's one of our more secured cameras. And so you can see the heavy rainfall that's starting to roll right through downtown Danville. Severe thunderstorm warning there. Also Bismarck, our friends up there. I know the Bismarck area, that storm was also looking pretty decent on the radar as it rolled. Look at that. Look and see kind of the sideways rain. Anytime that rain's going sideways, you know it's going to be pretty windy there. And that's precisely what is happening on that storm. I'm going to come back up there to the Bismarck part of the storm here on the radar. because I want to show that, because it also just kind of got added into a new severe thunderstorm warning, little sliver there of Vermilion County, right over Bismarck. But this thing's moving fast. It's actually now kind of going east there, south of the Alvin area, and going to be heading over into Indiana. There's another area we've been watching with storms, and it runs all the way down here to the south and into Coles County and the Mattoon, Charleston area. And we've got Seth out in the storm tracker here. I know a lot of the folks are used to having Jacob out there. Jacob's in studio with us here today, but Seth is out there. Seth, give us a report, kind of what you've seen as that line of storms came through.
Yeah, sure thing, Kevin. Just let people know where I'm at right now. I'm just outside the Sarah Bush Lincoln here between Mattoon and Charleston. Kind of just getting the last little bit of some storm activity out this way. You can kind of see my view looking out here to the west, closer to Mattoon. There's not too much happening. You can kind of see a rain shaft or two here or there. But the most interesting thing that I can see here right now, you just look here a little bit to the north and west. There's a pretty good amount of daylight starting to poke through. It's been pretty dark the entire time I've been out here. But now we're starting to get that clearing across the western half of the area as the system continues to push on through, kind of get that dry slot moving on through. So there's probably some nice sunny skies out here to our west, and we're going to eventually see that here this direction late in the day, but there might be some of that further destabilization going on off to our west. And eventually that is going to lead to perhaps another round of storms ahead of that cold front later on. But for now, here across I-57, it looks like our storms are starting to push east of the interstate, and that includes right here in Coles County as well. So about in between Mattoon and Charleston, I'm meteorologist Seth Bunoff in the Storm Tracker. Kevin, back to you.
All right, separate from that, this just coming down to, I don't know, not in our viewing area technically, but Galesburg, they are now under a tornado warning. And just behind this building, there's a pretty defined, what looks like probably a wall cloud there. So we're watching that. That's what our north and west. And just briefly here, this isn't the end. I know we've been talking about the severe weather threat. This is kind of the first wave. So when you look at the model here, this is the first wave coming through. There could be a secondary one that comes through later into tonight, post 8, 9 o'clock. So that's what we're monitoring here. We'll have more as we come back here with you a little bit later. Back to you guys.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. The Illini are in Indianapolis, and thousands of fans are going to follow.
Our sports team live in Indy with the latest from the Illini in the Final Four.
Perfect. Okay, guys. All right, guys, back here with you on the live stream. All right, so saying the wind over there is rocking pretty good. So again, here's that tornado warning out here near Galesburg. See how that cell is kind of by itself? I mean, look how different that looks from, compared to some of the stuff we've been looking at. But I tell you, if it wasn't for that building over there, we might be able to see that thing pretty clearly. But that thing's coming right towards Galesburg. We're going to be, man, look at that thing. Oh, if those buildings were in the way. I mean, there is something behind that. Look at that. Yeah. So, and I'm pretty sure they've got control of that camera, so they can kind of pan it around a little bit. Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll come back to your Vermilion County storm here. They were saying, boy, it was coming down pretty good. If you guys got any reports of damage, if you had any trees down, any hail or anything, let us know what you're kind of seeing over there. Our friends over in Danville.
That's so bad. Oh my God, this is the worst.
I think we can hear.
This is why my phone is
What?
You
What's-
can hear it through your mic.
Oh, what's going on? All right, guys. Again, we're still streaming live over here with you. Just.
I can hear it.
So now that's from there on the north side of town, Newell Road. And then that thing's going to quickly go into Indiana, but.
Not going to get through it by the time the break's over.
Maybe I shouldn't do what people see.
I don't care. This is so bad.
Oh, you're looking for some New Balance shoes?
All right, guys.
That's dangerous right
There'll be a tornado watch coming up shortly.
Tornado watch.
Maybe at least for West Indiana. I don't know how much Villanova includes.
Yeah. So they're thinking maybe this first round that's going to
Final Four fast approaching with official activities
head into
starting for
Indiana.
the team today.
It is much more than just the game this weekend. There's media obligations, news conferences, all the extra things that come when you earn that Final Four spot. WCIA 30's Courtney Lane Brewer in Indianapolis right now, and you asked the team, how do you block out all the noise? All right, Courtney, what was the answer?
All right, guys, again, our severe thunderstorm warning for Vermilion County continues. That storm just rocked Danville pretty good. If anybody has any reports of any damage or anything, let us know. Any wind gust estimates, anything like that, we would be curious to hear from you. Again, there might be a tornado watch coming out that could include FART, maybe some of the counties along the Indiana-Illinois state line, but maybe more into Indiana. We'll see. They're just kind of working something up, maybe. But look at the wide view of things here, guys. I mean, you've got far northwest Illinois, far east central Illinois, nothing in between right now. Maybe some cells are going to try to pop out there. And that's what we've got to watch is, can any of these guys get going? Okay, these guys out here and then kind of move in.
I know that wind out there is something, Courtney. Handled it well. All right, thank you so much.
We're going to have a look at what we're working on for our 6 o'clock newscast.
And we're going to have one last look at your forecast. We've got it. Storms coming through. That's next.
Okay, guys, back here with you on the live stream. Again, there's our severe thunderstorm warning. Now, far eastern Vermilion County, southeast of Bismarck, northeast Danville, and heading
I'm so behind on deleting emails.
into Indiana.
Keep a lot of
Again, guys, we're watching the storm up here near Galesburg. Man, let's see what our camera view looks like up there. See a tornado warning out here in Galesburg. See what the view is. Well, there's a view on that storm there. Little wall cloud. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Yep, again, largely, guys, not a risk for anybody right now, except for far eastern Vermilion County at this moment. There's nothing in Decatur. There's nothing in Springfield. There's nothing in Champaign. There's nothing in Gibson City. There's nothing in Watsika. There's nothing in Clinton. There's nothing in Sullivan, Shelbyville, Pana. You get the picture, right? We're just tracking some of these showers here. Stronger storms now pushing into Indiana.
That new tornado watch is actually far northern.
Far northern Indiana.
Yeah, it doesn't come.
Doesn't even, okay.
It's east-
So they're just
east of Gary.
east of Gary. Okay, so new tornado watch going in up there. So again, this first round moving out, I'm just not seeing anything. A little stronger down there in west of Robinson. But so far, nothing major. All right, wrapping up the newscast here. Be back with you here in just a second.
Coming up tonight at 6, there's a major update in the Marketplace Mall deadly shooting. What police are telling us today. That's tonight at 6.
All right, keeping a track on this first line of storms moving in Indiana. More storms in northwest Illinois. Those are tornadic. And then we're going to watch that area into east Missouri that maybe could develop more storms over the next few hours.
All right, Kevin, thank you.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next.
We'll see you at 6. Good night. This is really great.
That Galesburg camera, Kevin, actually looks really impressive. They've been turning it around a little bit as the storm comes in.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow, look at that. Yeah, so that's back to that Galesburg storm. Look at that thing. Okay, guys, back here with you on the live stream.
So they issued the tornado watch, and a minute later up in Michigan, they already have a tornado warning on the storm.
No
up
kidding.
on that warm front for northwest side of Kalamazoo.
Well, that's the thing we said, too, you know. Those warm fronts, especially up there, man, those northern Indiana warm fronts.
It's like you get the lake boundary enhancement.
Yep.
And that, so.
Okay, guys, still with you here on the live stream for the moment.
I feel like we'll be watching this Galesburg storm come in pretty quickly. Start to see if some of that sideways rain and whatnot. But WMBD covers up in Galesburg, and so we've got that sky cam that's up there now. That storm rolling on in, and that is looking to the southwest. That angle right there, as the storm comes in. They're moving at 50 mile an hour, so they're moving pretty quickly, and they're starting to backbuild a little bit too, Kevin. Now Macomb, and then getting closer to the Camp Point, Augusta area down, that would get more of our area if those storms can continue to intensify. So just kind of watching to see what happens with that. Vermilion County, I think we can say
clear. Yeah, I'm not seeing.
That storm has moved into the Indiana side.
Yeah. Oh, I wish they turn that. I wish they could turn that camera.
They did turn it a little earlier. We're spinning it around, but you can see that.
Ooh, there's the wind. There's the wind on the Galesburg camera.
Coming
That
in,
thing bouncing around. And now you're probably not going to be able to see anything here.
And I don't know if they're only saying quarter size hail. This really isn't a hail day.
Wow, look at that.
But that's coming in.
That hail there on the south side. But that, man, some of that rotation is.
Yeah.
I think it's coming right in there. Okay, now they're panning it. I mean, that rotation is right there. I mean, right through Galesburg.
So it'll be southeast, I should say, of the airport. It's over the rail yard, kind of carrying in the south and east side. So into East Galesburg, it'll pass north of the fairgrounds, north of Knoxville. But you'll get a lot of wind down towards Knoxville on that backside too. Yeah, I think that rotation itself is actually near or just east of downtown. I mean, that went
it went right over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's nice to see the camera's still there.
It's held. Sometimes I feel like that camera holds better than some of our cameras.
Yeah.
This sticks so high up there downtown.
So again, the storms there in Vermilion County have kind of moved off there to the east now. So still raining and still maybe some winds.
I'm not seeing much else even in that eastern part of our area, east of I-57, that really sticks out to me besides those Vermilion County. So there'll be some wind, but it's been windy all day.
Yeah.
We've had strong wind gusts. We had at one point before the storms came through down in Mattoon, 58 mile an hour gust at the Coast County Airport. And that was the highest non-thunderstorm
58
wind gust that I saw. 58. Yep.
So severe thunderstorm warning criteria for non-thunderstorm winds. And the camera, that almost looks like it's snowing. They can barely make anything out.
Kind of does. They're turning it again.
Now here's what you look for. Look for the rain going one direction, then suddenly it going the other.
Power's still on.
So now they've got it back to their view there. So there's all the precipitation moving left to right. If it would suddenly start going right to left, that would be not ideal. Yeah, power's still on. I can still see the stoplights down there. I would not want to be driving in any of those cars right now. You imagine just tornado warning right through the downtown area.
It's kind of interesting because I feel like today, Kevin, there were 3 targets for potential tornadic activity. You have Iowa and Northwest Illinois, close to the low. That makes sense. You had this unknown first round, what it was going to do coming on in this afternoon before the next line gets here into central Illinois. And that's that Vermilion County stuff. And it tried. It gave a valiant effort. And then that southwest Michigan, northern Indiana component, just in the last half an hour, really taking off up there towards Kalamazoo, off towards South Bend, places like that. A number of those storms, I think they just kind of grab onto that lake boundary, and the warm front's lifting through there, and it just seems like that part of Michigan can get some tornadoes in a hurry. So keep an eye on that. So we've managed to scrape through. We're that third spot that hasn't really had a lot. We'll keep an eye on it here. But that first round is moving on through. And we expect a second round to work its way our direction. And so that's what we'll be kind of watching to see how that evolves and things like that. Maybe some good news to me, Kevin. 6:30 to 7, our sports team has a special. And I think we're going to be okay during that at this point.
Yeah. No, that I was trying to see if the power was out because I couldn't see the stoplight there, but it's kind of blurry. Yeah, I think you're right. The sports special might be good. It's supposed to air at 6:30 live. The thing is it's for the Illini. It's the road to the championship, and it simulcasts on a bunch of our fellow statewide Nexstar stations, Rockford and Peoria. Even WGN's they're actually gonna record it and take it later, but
is the Quad Cities taking it as well?
Yeah, possibly.
Because the interesting thing is looking at this, Rockford and the Quad Cities and
probably
the Peoria
gonna be doing,
all have weather coverage. They'll probably be doing at 6:30.
Yeah.
Whereas we'll just be doing it ourselves. And
yeah, I mean, so like as you were just kind of mentioning there, you've got this stuff here, and again, all of that's going to affect kind of northwestern and northern Illinois. We move away from that, and our stuff over here. Sorry, that stuff over here, moving in Indiana. And then again, we've got a big break here, but the question is this stuff here. Does this continue to back build more to the south and west? I mean, some of the models kind of say that. Do these little guys kind of start going a little bit more to the north and east? That's my attempt at an arrow. We'll see. This is the wait and see game. This is the, you never know. I will say this, that some of the better parameters, some of the better shear does come in a little bit later tonight, later this evening. So we'll have to see. The problem is does the instability wane and kind of go away? So far, the better instability is in Western Illinois. I mean, we've had, we're rain cooled now in Champaign and Rantoul. It's 66, but it's 74 in Springfield and 75 in Jacksonville. So,
well, and look at the latest HER, and it picks up on us getting real active 6, 7, 8 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock probably. And so we are sitting Seth out there too. It looks like he's on the interstate now as well, Kevin. I can throw him
Yeah,
up to
sort of
take a sneak peek here in a
Put his
second.
camera up.
So if you get that, the latest HERP picks up on those storms, and it's still got stuff in our neighborhood and things of that. So we will keep an eye on that. And then we want to take a peek. Seth, don't worry, we're not going to make you talk, but I just want to take a little peek at you. And we got this new switcher set up here too, so I have no idea where anything is anymore. I've got to relearn everything.
It's so much smaller.
Reorganize it, whatnot. So there's Seth. He's on 57 northbound now, and he'll be making his way probably, I don't know if he'll go all the way up to Champaign or if he'll cut over at Tuscola towards Decatur. But if I were Seth, I think he's going to be eventually making his way back towards Springfield. He was in Decatur earlier. Then we said, go to Mattoon. And then he's probably heading back that way because you can see there, and I'll bring in your future track after you take a peek, Kevin. But that next round of storms does kind of show that back building potential down to the south and west from that Galesburg storm. And, we'll kind of see how that plays out. But there's a window of opportunity to get a few more storms on in there. So there's Seth. Yeah, Seth, you hear me? You're letting cars pass you. Come on, you got to hurry. Right? So there's that. All right, Kevin, here's your future track on. So why don't you walk folks through some of the latest data on that?
So again, there it was. Let's back it up here to where we are now. So there's that line going into Indiana. Here's that break. Okay, that we'll see. And then, maybe 7 o'clock, some of those little cells into eastern Missouri get going. It back builds a little bit more. And we see some cells there crossing I-55. So again, the better instability and shear is over there right now between I-57, I-55, that area. I got to tell you, I mean, if this model would be correct, some of those storms there, Menard, Sangamon, Logan counties, definitely have me going, okay, that was take on a little bit more of the shape and intensity that you would normally see with maybe some additional warnings. So the question is how far east will those storms get? Will they maintain their strength? That's at 8:15. We start getting maybe a few more over into Christian County, Macon County there. Okay. And when I look at some of the parameters on that, it does show tornadic potential. So I think a lot of this is going to be dependent upon the instability with these first round of storms that came through. We did work over a little bit of that atmosphere there in eastern Illinois. The sun's obviously setting here in an hour, and we're going to be done with the heating of the day and whatnot. So I think that we're going to have that best chance probably west of I-57 and in this corridor that stretches from Springfield, Lincoln, eastward to Decatur and Taylorville. So we'll watch that area. So that's the model for tonight. Round 1 kicks out, goes in Indiana. Here's your little break in between. And then these little individual cells. I got a feeling that come, 8 o'clock tonight, we may be doing some tornado coverage, maybe for some of those cells out there into Sangamon, Logan, Morgan, Cass, Menard counties, those areas over there. So that's kind of the newest model. And then you can see there's that, that front. The interesting thing is, like, it does take a while for that whole kind of line to kind of move through,
And what it is, Kevin, is the front kind of stalls
a little
and
bit.
Tomorrow lifts
Comes
back
back.
north.
Yeah.
So
like,
hey,
so
look at the big change real quick in Galesburg here, Kevin. You can see on the stream the sky can there, just beautiful sunny day.
Oh, look at
Really
that.
nice.
The sun is out like nothing. You were under a tornado warning 15 minutes ago and core of it coming right over you. Technically, the warning is still in effect in Galesburg, but look at the sun there now. How about that?
And we might even be seeing another step in the direction of developing tornado there to the northeast of Galesburg. And that'll be north of Knoxville, staying north of 150, north of 74. Just kind of looking at radar. The other thing is up now, back north of the Quad Cities, they've got a confirmed tornado up that way as well. So we're kind of seeing all of those things evolve and play out with those storms there. So future track back on, Kevin. Yeah, we kept the one question I got a lot from folks is there's a big. You're giving us a 12-hour window. Normally, you can narrow it down to 3-4 hours, but we literally have to have this big, long window because of this setup with that front coming on through. So, doing a good job with the placement there for the most part. Timing-wise, maybe a little bit off, but, you look at radar now and what Future Track was saying, and there's something to it, and you can already see down northwest of St. Louis, a few of those cells trying to develop as well. So Kevin's circling around number 1. That carries off to the east. And then this next round develops. There's what's developed so far, but then farther to the south and west, there you can see is where we'll be looking for to see development happen. And that may happen here. 543, guidance was saying between 6 and 8. We start seeing it down that way and move in our direction. So the circle the arrow is pointing from, that's where our next potential wave of storm activity is going to come. And it does look like, to me, Kevin, kind of watching a little bit of the data, there are definitely some towers popping, some storms popping up there west of St. Louis and northwest of St. Louis. So you go west of the metro, about halfway between there and Columbia, Bowling Green, Ellsbury, into Pike County, and up to the north. Definitely seeing some development from that. We may even see those Macomb storms pick up a little bit as well. That might stay out of our area. I think Chris Yates over at WMD is probably watching that very suspiciously, because that's going to carry those storms into the PR Metro. The Galesburg storm will stay north. That's LaSalle, Peru. Quad Cities is having a slugfest of storms. And then we're just kind of in a holding pattern at this point, Kevin.
Well, that enhanced risk area, where they finally moved it back to the north and west with the overnight run. And I think smartly so, because that's where, look how much more intense those storms are up there. Any one of those could go tornado warned all the way down to Macomb. And then, up there, the Quad Cities, that purple box is your confirmed tornado. That is right there, far northwestern Illinois. So the rest of us, though, are still, yes, the ingredients up there are really good for tornadoes. But we have decent ones down here if some storms get it going, if the instability is staying up, and that, we're looking for 1,000 Cape. There's still some, interesting wind fields aloft. And we're going to be looking at, if any of the winds here can back a little bit more to the south and east, which would enhance some of that tornado potential. Again, there's a front that's coming through, and then it lifts back to the north again tomorrow. It's that's what makes this a little bit more of a complicated scenario around here. But more than anything, it's 2026 just repeating itself, with Illinois being the absolute target of tornadoes, leading the country in tornadoes. Actually, I think by a pretty long distance too. So, and here we go again with another round of severe storms.
There's Seth. Seth's coming through Tuscola right now, and he's moved to the west. So he's going to go on west on 36 there. So if anyone's in Atwood or Hammond or off towards,
has he stopped to get lunch? Has he stopped to get dinner yet? You might want to. You might want to get dinner before, if things get active later.
That is true. There's a Casey's, Seth, over towards the Atwood Hammond area along the way. But then when you get into Long Creek, you got all those restaurants there. So he may grab something there, perhaps, if he's sneaking on by. But he'll be making that to right place. There he is. He's giving us a thumbs up. Looking good there, Seth. He hears us loud and clear. So wanted to check with him. We also did just get a signal from the National Weather Service that they may issue a watch, and based on their discussion of that, it would lean probably tornado watch. For whatever reason, my graphics are not importing that in, but I will see if I could fix that here. I think it just came out a minute or two ago, but they kind of highlighted this middle zone behind round one, including all of us here in Central Illinois, with the chance for a tornado watch. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. But there, it's a 40%. They're saying, we got to get some storms. Some of the recent guidance suggests more robust development by 7 p.m. along the Mississippi River and into Illinois. So that's what we'll be kind of keeping an eye on with that, Kevin.
All right. Sounds good. So here's what I think we'll do. Since we don't have any warnings, don't anticipate anything else, we'll go and clear this for now, and refire this up a little bit later when the next round kind of comes through, kind of get our ducks in a row, so to speak, for that next round. Again, I think things are looking decent for our 6:30 window there for the sports special, but I think shortly after that, there is that potential for storms to get going again. We're going to be watching those little guys that come out of Missouri. So those tiny little guys over there. And if that kind of back builds a little bit more. So I think shortly after 7 o'clock, we might be back on here with you on the live streams and maybe even have to cut it on the TV. But I think this first round does kick off into Indiana. It really kind of largely is, there's some intensification there on that southern end. But I think by the time it reaches that intensity to issue a warning, it's probably over into Indiana. So you can see Clark County there. I mean, that's looking a little bit stronger. But Terre Haute, that's probably going to be their problem here in just a little bit. Look at some of that stuff down towards the Olney area. That also going to be tracking towards Crawford County. And that area down there could see some of that severe weather. But we just have such a break here. And these storms that are out here west of Galesburg or near Galesburg and west of Peoria are going to continue to track to the north and east. And so we'll see what happens here. Maybe we'll wait until the watch gets issued.
It's only a 40% chance. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're just kind of discussing some of this stuff. And they're saying what we were just talking about, the high-rise guidance and things of that. But this is, I'll throw up my computer real quick here.
Yep.
This is where they were kind of highlighting that area and taking a peek at it. So again, big if storms can develop, damaging winds and tornadoes possible in that area. 40% chance of that happening. There's an additional mesoscale discussion from earlier for areas east of I-57, but that's for the line clearing out. So we'll see what they come up with there, but that's kind of the focus where they're now talking about us. It's kind of your first step, right, Kevin? A lot of people always say, oh, what about my town?
What about my town?
For us, it's what about our viewing area? What about our viewing area? And now the storm predictions are starting to talk a lot more about us and the future threats. So that's kind of the analogy I would use to describe that there. And that's what we got. So, Kevin, I'll give it back to you.
All right. So there we go, guys. Again, that watch potential is there. So here's what I encourage you to do is instead of trying to bounce back and forth like we did during the 5 of the newscast, we're going to end this live stream here. We're going to do our newscast live at 6 o'clock. Tune in there to see if that watch gets issued during the 6 o'clock. And again, I think shortly after 7 p.m., if some of the weather models are correct, we'll start to see that line of storms intensify a little bit more right at 7 o'clock, maybe coming into Jacksonville, Springfield, areas, 8 o'clock, Lincoln, Decatur. And I got a feeling there's going to be a handful of tornado warnings that might get issued, at least initially there. Do they make it all the way to Champaign, Tuscola, Danville? I don't know. We'll see. Because again, the parameters over there have come down significantly in terms of, temperature and the dew points are slightly lower, but we'll see. The best instability by far. And here's what I can do is I'm going to show this part to you. And so it shows where the instability is and the colors that you see here. So here we are in Champaign right here. And notice the blues. You want more of this kind of yellow. And so that's over here, Lincoln, Springfield, Jacksonville, Taylorville. I mean, it's 75 in Jacksonville. Okay, 74 in Springfield, but now it's 66 in Champaign, Rantoul, 63 in Danville, Charleston, 65, Effingham. So more of this instability where the storms can feed off of. Also, the shear is great. And that's why if any of these storms can tap into more of that instability, that's what all those red colors here, that's, some decent shear. And we combine it together and this whole area, there is some instability. You combine it together and you've got some decent parameters. So that's why basically, if you look at this kind of purple area here from basically about Decatur, Bloomington, southwestward, that is an area I think that we'll watch. So if any of these storms can get going, then we'll be talking about, that severe potential to ramp up. So for now, watching this area up here, far northern Illinois, for us, we're in this little calm period, but we're going to watch these storms that come out of northeastern Missouri and eventually head towards Morgan, Cass, Sangamon, Menard counties here over the next few hours. So Probably back with you guys here in about an hour or so. So stick back with us, and we will keep you up to date on the storms that come through. But again, tune into our 6 p.m. newscast for more. And yeah, there you go. It's still raining in Galesburg, huh? You're probably going to see a rainbow on that thing pretty soon. And there's your tornado warning storm up there. All right, Jacob, any final words before we shut her off?
Nope.
All right, sounds good. Okay, guys, we'll be back with you here in a little bit. Again, tune in to the 6 o'clock newscast for more on our weather potential for tonight and the sports special that will follow after that. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back here a little bit later on, I get a feeling.